So what is the recession? That I'm just going to explain a recession, and to know the recession meaning, we need to know some of the important terms. So what are the important terms that we need to know? The first one is the economic activities. All activities which we perform in exchange for money are economic activities. Whether we are buying some goods or selling, or buying some services or selling some services, maybe production area or maybe in any other area. So all those activities which involve some money, like so give and take of money. Money is the medium for exchange of goods and services, right? So this is the one of the item, like one of the terms that we use to understand a number of important terms, like recession is here. So for example, the production and distribution of goods and services, without money it is not possible. So economic activity can be measured in the monetary terms. Now what is GDP and what is the real GDP that I'm going to explain today? So this is one of the economic indicator. Just like we have a thermometer, and that we use for the body temperature, right, to know the body temperature. So whether this is a 101 and 102, or so this is the only mean. So to know the economy, right, so where the economy is going, whether there is a growth or whether the economy is going down. So the main indicator is that GDP, that is real GDP. So monetary value of all number of goods and services produced by an economy in a given year without considering the inflation or deflation impact. It means when there is, we are not going to consider the inflation and deflation impact, right? So and calculating the number of goods and services produced by any economy in a given particular year. So that is known as the GDP. So GDP growth rate, how we can calculate the GDP growth rate? So it compares the year over year, quarter over quarter, right? Change in a country's economic output to measure how fast an economy is growing. So how to calculate GDP? There are different approaches, but I have taken the expenditure approach to make you understand about it, right? So expenditure approach, sometime we can say this is a spending approach. So this is the method which is used by the United States to know that what is the GDP, to calculate the GDP. What is the formula here which is in front of you? This is GDP is equal to C plus G plus I plus NX. What is that? So for example, C is here is the consumption, right? And consumption, for example, is 75,000. Then 150,000 is G, is the government spending. Investing is 180,000, and net export is $100,000, and total is $505,000, right? So C is consumption. So what is consumption? Consumer. We are a consumer. We are consuming some goods and services. Take an example of the laptop. So laptop that we have bought this laptop not for selling, for using. The mobile phone that we have taken, right, and we are using that mobile phone, right? So the goods and services, even the services that we have taken, the hairdressers, right, maybe the services from the lawyer, right, maybe services from the insurance agent or a consultant, and we pay something. So even the goods and services that we consume in a particular period of time, right, so that is the consumption. So consumer, the we are the consumer means end user, not the customer. Customer, that is, for example, the Best Buy is a seller, and Costco may be the customer for that, for selling the goods after buying to the consumer, to the another customer in the retailing. So customers spend money to acquire goods and services such as groceries, haircut, and consumer spending is the biggest component of GDP and accounting for more than two-thirds of United States GDP, right? So there are two confidences, that higher confidence and low confidence. So high confidence means when the people are having more confidence in the market, and definitely they will spend more money in the market. So more spending by the customers or consumers. And the low confidence mean less spending by the consumer. When the market is low, rate of interest is more, the people will not try to send or spend money, right? Unnecessary money means that they are not going to spend. They will postpone that. Now, G stand for government spending. So government spending here is on equipments, on infrastructure and payrolls, roads, buildings, bridge, right? So railways, tracks, and everything. This is for infrastructure for the general public. So when the government is spending, this is also the expenditure. As the consumer are spending, the government is also spending, right? So next we have investment, private or domestic investment plus a capital expenditure such as property, plants, building, technology, and equipments, right? So lots of investment is made. So that is also one of the expenditures we will calculate and we will add in calculating the GDP. Net export. Export is 100, import is 90. 10 is the net export. It means so this is also spending, right? So net export is also will be added in calculation of the GDP.